one thing we get a ton of questions on with RVing, and something we know a lot about, is RVing with animals. You know, we have a dog named Sweetie, a cat named Butters, and 2 rabbits, Min and Tat. We've been on the road for a year now with all of them, and one thing we haven't talked about, though, is veterinary
care.
Yeah, there we go, vet care with animals while traveling. And today is a really good day for us to talk about that, though, because Sweetie actually has a vet appointment that she needs to get something checked up on. We're just petting her and loving on her, and I found this bump on her. And when I looked at it, I noticed that there was hair loss on it, and it's red. It looked like it had been bleeding, and it was pussing. The hair was all matted around it. It's about the size of a dime, and I looked at it and was like, yeah, that needs checked out.
We actually have a vet back home in Fort Wayne, Indiana, that we've been going to for years and years and years, and David's parents took all their pets there when David was young, so we've known them for a very long time. And they knew we were hitting the road. They know that we're on the road. And so whenever we have a question about something, we just give them a call. And they're super helpful.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes, you know, we can send them pictures about maybe what's going on, and they can let us know, yes, that needs vet attention. No, you can deal with that at home by yourselves. You can take care of it, stuff like that. And so we called them, explained what was happening with Sweetie, and they said, it sounds like it's a burst cyst, and typically that's treated with antibiotics, so she should be seen by a vet. It's like, perfect. Yeah. Okay, we got it. So
then what we do is we get online, get on Google, and we just type in, you know, nearest vet clinics near me, and we found 3 vet clinics near where we are right now, and we just gave them a call. Unfortunately, we couldn't make any appointments with any of them. They were all booked up, but one of them offers walk-ins, so we may have a little bit of a wait, but that's okay because, you know, we feel that Sweetie needs to have this looked at right now. It's a Friday, and we just don't want it to sit and fester over the weekend.
Yeah, because we don't really know what it is, and it does look like it's some sort of a small infection.
Yeah. It
doesn't seem to bother her. She doesn't look at it or anything like that.
Yeah, we just don't want it to get worse and, I don't know, have it, just get worse. You know, this is our precious puppy dog. It needs to be taken care of. It's not an emergency situation or anything.
Yeah.
But
and one thing we do when we call these vet clinics is, even if all 3 of them had an opening, I still would have called all 3. Because one thing that we check is what their examination fee is.
Absolutely.
At our vet, it's $30 or $25 or something like that. It's nice and affordable just to be seen. And then the treatment is obviously on top of that. But there are other vet clinics in our hometown where the examination fee is $75 or $100.
Yeah, they're really kind of all over the place, and really just depends on the vet. So if you're on the road with your pets, make sure that you call and figure out how much it costs just for your pet to be seen, because, you know, you don't want to pay any more than you have to. So find a vet that has a nice low examination fee, and then, you know, the fees on whatever, you know, if they need medication or tests or whatever are going to be on top of that.
Something else you want to make sure that you have when you're traveling on the road are your certificate of vaccination papers for your pets. We have these for Sweetie and for Butters. Rabbits don't get vaccinations, so we don't have anything for them. However, there are a lot of veterinary clinics,
if not all,
over the road that won't even see your pet unless they're fully vaccinated first. So you want to make sure you have your proof of vaccinations. Plus, there are RV parks and state parks and places that you might have to stay with your pets that won't allow you to stay unless your pet is fully vaccinated.
It's critical that you have that paperwork with all your animals that you travel with. And honestly, we keep all our paperwork from vets that we get, period. So like Sweetie, actually, this isn't the first time that she's needed veterinary care on the road. She had a yeast infection in her ear, and
she had a bladder infection.
She had a urinary tract infection. Yeah. So we actually keep all that paperwork from those vet visits, just in case another vet needs to see, you know, her history, what else she's had wrong with her in the past. We keep all that paperwork. Yep. So if they need to see it, they can. But we're all set to go. We've got Sweetie's vet records. She's all ready to go. So we're not going to waste any more time, because we want to start applying whatever ointment or antibiotic or whatever it is that we need to do to get this thing off my doggy girl. We want to get that going immediately so that it's not bugging her anymore and we can get it all fixed. You ready to go to the vet, pup? Well, are you ready?
You ready? You want to go?
Well, let's go.
Well, come on. Let's go.
Let's go, big girl.
Let's go. have just left the vet and Petco because Sweetie was a really, really good girl, so we decided to let her wander around and smell everything in Petco because that's like her favorite thing to do. And we found out that what is on her side is actually a cyst of some sort that has burst along the surface of her skin. So we were given an antibiotic to help treat it because there's a secondary infection, and we have an anti-inflammatory, and then we also have, oh, it's right here. And we also have some cleaning wipes to help clean it, treat it, and get it to go away. And surprisingly, with the walk-in clinic, we only ended up waiting a total of an hour and a half from the time we got there to the time we left, which was awesome. And we only spent a total of $82.87. That's pretty good. Right, sweetie? Yes. But veterinary care isn't the only thing that we deal with while traveling on the road with pets. We have continuing care at home that we have to do for all of our pets, including nail trims, you know, taking care of them. The rabbits actually have a lot to do as well, and we're going to show you what we do for everybody else too.
If you plan to travel with your pets, something else you'll need to be aware of is that if there's any continual treatment that your animals need that you would typically pay a vet to handle, you may need to or want to start doing that yourself so that you don't have to be constantly taking your animals to new vets in all the different places you're going to be traveling to that may be hours from your campsite.
Yeah, for example, our cat Butters, she has allergies, and these are allergies that we've never been able to get under control. She's 7 or 8, I think she's 7 now.
7.
And she has had these ever since she was a little tiny kitten. She breaks out about every 3 to 6 months or so. And I used to take her to the vet, and the vet would give her a steroid shot to help her allergies symptoms go away. And we've talked a lot with the vet about, you know, having her do some sort of an allergy test to find out what she's allergic to, and basically the conclusion is that that's just not a really good idea.
It's like a lesson in futility is what our vet told us, because she said that as she ages, her allergies will change, and not only that, but since we're traveling so much, she may be allergic to something like, say, in the desert that we don't know about because we got her tested in the Midwest, and then we get to the desert, now she's allergic to that, and then when we leave the desert, she's not allergic to that anymore, and now she's allergic to something completely different in the forest.
Yeah, and we have noticed that since we've hit the road, she has broken out a couple different ways. Sometimes the back of her ears will go bald and she'll be really itchy, and then sometimes her lip ulcers. Now, whenever we notice those, we have been taught by our vet how to give her her steroid shot that we used to go in and just have them do for us because it was easier.
Yeah.
And that's something we've had to learn to do ourselves. Also for us, our rabbits have something called scent glands that we have learned about recently that, if they're not regularly cleaned or at least checked, can lead to some major problems. And this is something that normally, if I were to take them into our rabbit vet, she would probably check while we were there and wouldn't even say anything to me about it. But because we've learned about it, we now know to check it once a month and make sure that they're all nice and clean and tidy down there and that they're good to go.
Yep, and our white rabbit Tat, his almost are always clean. They're not very bad, but our brown rabbit Min has a big problem with them. Hers have to be cleaned monthly, otherwise they get very clogged, and that has to be very uncomfortable for her, so we stay on top of that for her.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that we always do once a month is we trim everybody's nails. So the rabbits and the dog
get their nails trimmed.
Yeah, get their nails trimmed, and we do that ourselves. We've always trimmed Sweetie's nails ourselves, and I've actually had to research on how to handle her more properly because it used to be a very, very stressful thing for her, and now we can handle it ourselves. And then we brush her, and we also make sure that we're keeping her ears nice and tidy. We were told when we were down in Texas and she first ever had a yeast infection in her ears that it's something that could regularly come back. We were given this big old bottle of cleaner and ointment to treat that if it ever does come back, which is really nice because that wasn't even our regular vet, so they just gave us a lot.
Yeah.
It was super awesome of them.
So something else you will want to take into consideration when you're traveling with your pets is preventative medicine. And if you have a dog, then you should absolutely have them on a heartworm treatment whether you're traveling or not. So if you don't have your dog on heartworm preventative medicine, then definitely talk to your vet. But for Sweetie, we also use Canine Advantix for her because it's supposed to protect against fleas, ticks, lice, mites, and it's also supposed to repel mosquitoes. So we give that to her because, you know, we're always out in the forest and we take her on hikes and walks in the national forests, state parks and such. So we just want to make sure that she is safe from all that stuff. We didn't used to give it to her when we lived in the house in the suburbs though, so now we do. And not only that, but Butters also we let outside and we let her explore from time to time. So even though she is typically an indoor cat, again, since we're staying in the national forests a lot and there's ticks, there's fleas, there's mosquitoes and such, we also give her this Advantage Multi. It's supposed to prevent or protect against all this stuff. Heartworm, fleas, hookworm, roundworm, and ear mites. So that's really important for us so that Butters is safe too.
Now when it comes to taking other types of pets on the road besides dogs and cats, we are kind of weird and we have rabbits on the road. Now we had these rabbits before we hit the road and we weren't willing to give them up when we did hit the roads, so they're just coming with us. Now rabbits require a little different kind of treatment on the road. They don't get regular checkups by the vet, they don't get vaccinations, nothing like that, but you have to know how to take care of your rabbit. And one thing that's special with Min is she has excessive earwax buildup sometimes, and we have to put drying drops in her ears, so that's something we take care of for her. The rabbits also need their nails trimmed on occasion, and they need what's known as scent glands cleaned out. Min has an issue with her scent glands getting really clogged, so we take care of that. And then one other thing that you have to make sure of with rabbits is that their teeth don't get overgrown. Now, fun fact about rabbits, their teeth never stop growing, just like a beaver. So it's something we have to keep an eye on because if they ever do get overgrown, they can essentially start starving to death because they can't eat, in which case we would have to find a specialty vet to go in and file their teeth down. And one other thing that luckily our rabbits don't have a problem with are sore hocks. And if you have a rabbit and they have sore hocks, that is a whole other realm of treatment to get that taken care of. So rabbits do require a lot more monitoring to make sure that they don't get sick because they're prey animals. They don't show sickness. So we keep a really, really close eye on our rabbits to make sure that they're still healthy, their eyes are nice and bright, and that they're happy and hopping around whenever we open their cage. Right, Minnie Bun? Right, Minnie Bun Bun? Now, rabbits also have specialty diets. They have to have all of their nutrition, which our rabbits get through pellets. We also give them fresh vegetables on occasion, and then they get hay, and their hay is actually what helps keep their teeth down. So for us, it's just making sure that their teeth are nice and at a good length for them. But the rabbits aren't the only kind of animal that may require a specialty diet. A lot of people have special diets for their dog and their cat, and you're going to want to make sure if you're hitting the road and traveling that you have access to that specialty food. For us, luckily, both of our pets, both our dog and our cat and our rabbits don't have super specialty food. So we're able to get everything they need while we're on the road traveling. Our rabbits each eat about a big old clump of hay their body size a day. So they get tons and tons of hay, so we have to buy a lot of hay when we're on the road. And they also get some nice vegetables. Min's favorite vegetable is kale, and Tat, our white rabbit, his favorite vegetable is cilantro. And they love it. And they also get banana on occasion because it's just a tiny little rabbit treat for them, and they love it. They'll come out and they'll just nudge you in the mornings. It's really cute. Right, Min Bun?
So that's what we do when one of our animals needs veterinary care, but we are in an unfamiliar city because, we're traveling full-time RVing. And that is also how we make sure that the ongoing care and the preventative measures are taken to keep our animals happy and healthy on the road. And it's nothing too crazy, nothing too complex, but we know that we've gotten a lot of questions from you guys about this topic, and a lot of you are very anxious about taking your animals on the road with you. So hopefully seeing how we do it lets you see what you might need to do to make sure that your animals are kept happy and healthy and can hit the road with you as well.
Yes. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And if you want more videos from us, be sure to subscribe. And if you want more details on what we talked about today, be sure to check out the link to the blog post in the description below. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.
Oh, thank you, puppy. Thank you. Sweet Pea, do you want to say bye-bye?